Hello and welcome everybody to Game 3 of EGPuma versus aAaNerchio. Now, this is going to be a best of 5. I know I've pretty much spoiled this for everybody now because I called it a best of 3, but it's clearly a best of 5 since Puma has won the first 2 matches, so I think we can all guess who's going to win this game, but, oh well, what can I do? What can I do? I did what I did. Unless I want to recast the series, which I don't particularly feel like doing, well, spoilers for everyone! Alright, moving right into this game. Oh my god, I suck at this. Spawning here in the top left position as the red Terran, we have Evil Genius's Puma. Spawning here in the bottom left position as the blue Zerg, we have aAaNerchio. This is going to be a ZVT on Tal'Darim Altar. And as I said before, EGPuma did take the first 2 games. In Game 1, we saw a nice little siege tank timing push with a lot of marine cover, and was able to deal a lot of damage to Nerchio. And in Game 2, well, we saw another very nicely timed siege. Well, I guess it wasn't so much a timing attack as it was just a very big attack. Puma played very defensively, though he did get a very aggressive with drops and Hellions early on. He was able to contain Nerchio to actually quite a few bases. Nerchio was kind of expanding all over the place, trying to deal with all the drops. But Puma was able to push forward with a lot of Marines and Siege Tanks in the mid-game and was able to take a nice win there off of Nerchio with some nice Siege Tank spread and some just well-placed units overall. So here in Game 3, we are going to be seeing Puma be getting that early gas. This is always a critical thing to scout for Nerchio. As Nerchio comes in with this drone, we are of course going to see him check out those gas guys, just because that can be so indicative of what your opponent is going to be doing in this matchup, or in any matchup really. There we go, and yes indeed, you can see that he even clicked on that refinery. Nerchio has scouted that the 1 gas has gone down. He now knows, he has now crossed off the list of possibilities any kind of 2 racks. Now he knows that there is most likely no 2 racks coming. He's thrown down his expansion. He's now getting his gas and his spawning pool as well. So because there was only 1 gas taken, not 2 gas taken, Nerchio can also assume that there will not be any kind of Banshee play in the early game. Won't have to worry about any kind of early Banshee pressure. We'll most likely be having to deal with Hellions. And yes indeed, we do now see that the factory is coming down for Puma. And on the bottom left corner, we see that Nerchio is going for a little bit of a worker transfer there. He's being careful that there is indeed no 2 racks, making sure there's no kind of fishy play going on. And it looks like Puma is just off of 1 racks, is actually going to be going for a bit of a bunker rush. This is amazing by Puma. I did not actually expect this to happen, but it looks like Puma, with some excellent unit control, is actually going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage off of just this 1 barracks, and in the meantime he's going to be able to get up a lot of Hellions. So it was definitely a good idea here by Nerchio to pull some of these drones out here. Anytime you're worried about early pressure, it's always a good idea to transfer more drones than you normally would to your natural expansion, because these drones can be critical in holding off these early attacks. These early attacks can be thwarted by just having a lot of drones available right away, because drones are actually pretty good. People used to think that drones were, well, not good combat units at all and would start producing a lot of lings, but people are starting to learn, especially like those Zerg players, when they don't want to produce a lot of lings, they've just learned that they can just produce a lot of drones, and usually against most kinds of early pressure you can actually stay ahead quite well. Even if you lose drones to that early pressure, as long as you're just constantly producing a lot of drones out of your 2 hatcheries. But it looks like Nerchio has now got up his 2nd queen. He's now injecting both hatcheries, has stopped mining gas right now in favor of those drones, trying to get up more minerals for those drones and those overlords. Poked in there, managed to delay this command center by just a little bit, but we can now see that Hellions are now moving out across the field. 2 Hellions are on the production tab, and 2 Hellions are now moving into the natural of Nerchio, and these spine crawlers are not quite up yet. We have 1 spine crawler that is almost up, 1 Roachborn that is just now going down. But it looks like Puma is trying to get in here and try to get as much scouting information as he can. He's now seeing this extractor. He's seeing that Nerchio is not currently mining gas, so he knows that Nerchio is not going to be going for any kind of tech play, and he's going to continue to sit here and harass and try to get a lot of worker kills. And he's actually picking up just a few worker kills, none yet, but he hasn't lost these Hellions yet, so the game is not quite up yet. 2 more Hellions have now moved into the base for Puma, and it looks like we are now seeing quite a strong little Hellion harass here from EGPuma. As it gets up that expansion, and more Hellions are still being produced. We can see that 2 more are coming right now. 2 more are on the production tab, so it looks like Puma's going to be committing to having a lot of Hellions, but a lot of Zerglings just came in and just cleaned up the last of those Hellions, so it looks like the other Hellions are going to be forced to just pull back, and looks like Puma's going to be forced to just sit back and get his macro going. Checking out the Harvester tab right now, we can see the Harvester tab is just about even. 28 Harvesters, 230. Nerchio is up by a little bit, but Puma does currently have the advantage as he does have those mules that can help quite a bit in the that econ game. 1 bunker now going up for EGPuma. Looks like he's going to be sitting back, playing a little more defensively while he gets this expansion up and droned up well, though he's still producing a lot of Hellions on the production tab. We can see that he has just now stopped producing Hellions. 6 Hellions are now on the field, moving around the map, checking to see if there's any kind of stray units that they can pick off, and a lot of barracks now being thrown up here for Puma. Starport also now being thrown down on the reactor, so it looks like we are going to be seeing a bio with the medevac play here, and possibly even some drops here for Puma. These drops can be very, very strong on this map, because as you can see, the front of your base is protected here. You can protect both of your bases by just sitting here at this one ramp for ground forces. But if there are any kind of drops and things that come back here, your units to defend are required to come from here all the way to the back. This means that defending can be very, very difficult on this map, because 2-pronged attacks can be very, very strong. Hellions for Puma now moving around, trying to see that Nerchio is now trying to expand as best as he can, but these Hellions are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Lings if he is not careful. More Roaches now being produced by Nerchio. I'm actually curious to see if he's going to continue that heavy Roach play that he's been doing in the past 2 games, seeing as those Roaches have just really not been doing the job. And wow, a lot of Lings there getting taken out by Puma, because he kind of misclicked there and was taking out those rocks. Didn't think those Hellions would be there waiting for him, but they were able to take them out. As I was saying before, this cliff can be very, very deadly for drops. So as you can see, Nerchio, smart play here by Nerchio, placing all of these overlords here to scout for any kind of drops. And now we see that the factory, now that it is done producing Hellions, is now coming in for a little bit of a scout, and looks like Puma's going to be poking in there with that factory, trying to see what he can do as he transitions into that heavy barracks play. 5 racks are now up. Looks like 3 with Tech Lab, 2 with Tech Lab. Wait, did I just say that right? 3 with reactors, 2 with Tech Labs, and a Starport now up with a reactor. So it looks like we are going to be seeing a little bit of a bio ball push here in just a short amount of time. Nerchio finally deciding to go on the offensive, moving out with this small group of Roaches, but I don't know if he's going to be able to have what it takes to deal with this many forces here from Puma. Puma actually forcing a stim here. Puma chasing down these Roaches, and they're actually able to chase down quite a few of these Roaches. The Roaches did get split up. A couple of them are like, see ya guys, I am out of here. And in the meantime, all the rest of those Roaches get picked up there, so good pick off there by Puma. And it looks like he's going to again try to poke in with these Hellions to try to see if he can do a little bit more damage. All the bioforces of Puma now moving across the map though, and this to me looks like just enough to load up into 2 medevacs and do a bit of a drop, so we will see if that is actually Puma's plan. No, it actually looks like Puma is just going to be moving straight up into the main of Nerchio, and yeah, it looks like we do have an engagement here as Nerchio moves in with a lot of Zerglings here trying to deal what damage he can, but more forces are being rallied in from Puma, and I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this. Looks like Nerchio is not quite going to be able to hold this. That Spine Crawler is just now burrowing, not going to be able to deal much damage. It is going to be taken out right away. All the queens are falling, and the forces of Puma are now moving into the base of Nerchio. I think this is going to be GG for Nerchio. So once again, I apologize everybody for spoiling this game. I totally spoiled this game by calling it a best of 3 at the beginning. I guess that's my fault for not doing my research before I cast it. God. And there is the GG from Nerchio. I hope you guys enjoyed this series despite knowing the outcome of it by the end of Game 2. If you did enjoy it, please comment, please subscribe, let me know what you think about these casts. What can I do to make them better? How about not spoil the ending, Glitch? How about not spoiling the ending? Thanks for watching, guys. Glitch out.